Hi and welcome to New Zealand Trucking TV episode 1, something we've put together because we want to promote trucking in society, to bring it back to where it was, to make it something people know that they can't live without, to bring the fun back to it, to bring the enjoyment back to it, to just enjoy trucks so that people understand it's a mission critical function in their lives and an honourable occupation for their young ones.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of a shame that in today's society we seem to have this preconceived idea out there now amongst our young fellas coming through and so forth that it's somehow sort of moved from Smokey and the Bandit to Duel.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it has. It's gone from, yeah.
You know,
so many of us grew up with Moving On, BJ and the Bear, Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, that's right. It's turned into Duel now, hasn't it? So we've put together New Zealand Trucking TV. We're going to do it monthly to start with. We're going to bring great video. We're going to bring things that are on, the buzz in the industry, what's happening. We're going to have Just Trucking Around with truck drivers on the road, meeting them, hearing their story, what's on, events coming up.
Truckers' Health.
Truckers' Health, it's a huge issue in the industry.
Exactly.
Laura from the magazine's going to help us with that. And just, we're going to make it fun, enjoyable and entertaining.
Exactly.
Next March in Christchurch is the TMC Trailers Trucking Industry Show, an event that's rapidly becoming New Zealand's premier trucking event on the show calendar.
So, Dave, I believe you've heard from Rebecca.
Yes, we've heard from Rebecca Dinmore at New Zealand Trucking Association, and she's going to fill us in on all the detail to do with the show.
Rebecca.
Yeah, so the TMC Trailers Trucking Industry Show is shaping up to be New Zealand's ultimate trucking weekend. Book your time off work and come down to Christchurch at the Canterbury Agricultural Park. We've got March 20th as the trade day and 21st is a big public open day. So we've got some fantastic new things lined up. We've got amazing support from the trade. We've got double gold sponsors on board already. On the Friday, we've got the Careers Showcase, which will be a mixture of high school students interested in the industry and adults who might be looking for a career pathway change. So they'll get a great insight into what opportunities are available in the industry. On the Friday afternoon, sponsors and trade are welcome to host their customers. We're having a exhibitor function on the Friday evening. On the Saturday, we've got the huge public open day. So we've got a mixture of classic trucks, the stars of the show, obviously, which are the Show and Shine, which we're hoping for over 300 trucks. We've got huge new competitions. So we've just secured TR Group's New Zealand National Truck Driving Championships, which will be running on the Friday and the Saturday. And we've just introduced 3 big wider industry competitions. So we've got the crane competition, the forklift competition, and the excavator competition. So make sure you have a go with those. We've got some fantastic prizes up for grabs. And the awards will all be at the Teltrack Navman Industry Show dinner on the Saturday night. So make sure you book your tickets. They're only $65. All the Show and Shine awards, the industry competition awards, they'll all be awarded at that show dinner. So it'll be a great night. We can hold up to 1,000 people, so should be a cool event. Just make sure you come along. It's going to be huge. We're expecting upwards of 20,000 people, so don't miss it.
Yes, that's right. And as Dave alluded to, we will be bringing you pieces of entertainment, magical moments, for example, pieces of video that we've captured in our travels while we've been getting around the countryside.
Absolutely. Cool.
Have we got something for them?
Oh, cool video that you'll think's cool too. Let's start with this. It's time for New Regs with Carl.
Yes, that's right. And this month we're featuring the new ProStar R8 put on the road by Shane Bunning. So the ProStar's been built as the heavy duty spec for its logging application out on the east coast there. It's featuring the X15 with the 18-speed 22 series gearbox and 46160 Meritors on Primax, and features a beautiful build on the back end there, a nice 5-axle from the Mills TeHuia team there in Rotorua. This is the first 8-legger ProStar in the bush, and is the pride and joy there of Shane and Kahurangi, who are double shifting it around the clock. So Dave, I believe it's time for Fit for Purpose!
So here's our first piece of Fit for Purpose roading, State Highway 2 at Matata, and that is a beautiful deformation in our nation's second most important highway.
That's right, Dave, and how do you think your active steering would react to that?
Look, Carl, I think it would be extremely active at the moment that you made contact with that.
Very active steering.
Absolutely, but look, there's a guardrail.
Exactly. At least there's a guardrail.
At least there's a guardrail. Maybe some capsize would have been good.
Could have.
Yep. Or then again, they could just repair it.
That would work too. Okay, so in light of what we said at the very beginning of the show, we're here to bring the good news stories about this trucking industry that we love, and the people that we meet. And with that in the magazine, for years now we've had the Just Truckin' round, catching up with drivers, sort of getting their story and bringing their stories to the public. And so with this in mind, we've got the opportunity now to bring you Just Truckin' rounds live.
Absolutely, we want to bring trucking as a good news story to you all. We want to bring the characters from behind the wheels, the people that you can't see when they're passing. But what we need is for you guys to jump on board with us. We want you guys to help us take the message to the public. So when you see us walking up to you with the camera and we want to do a live Just Truckin' round, just spend 2 minutes and look into the camera and tell us your life story and how you got into trucking, why it's such a great job, and why you do it.
Exactly.
Our first Just Truckin' round is with us. He volunteered to jump in front of the camera, so let's have a look and see who it is this month.
G'day, I'm TeHuia from Coromandel. I drive for Seaproducts in the 620 Scania. I cart seafood, or mussels and oysters. I've been driving trucks for nearly 40 years. Started out when I was a young fella, riding around with my father. We did one of the last cream runs ever in Coromandel, in New Zealand, with the old cream cans, and then I just had a passion for trucks. I love driving trucks and looking after them. It's a good industry to get into, but you need to have a passion for it, not just treat it as a job. And yeah, it is getting a little bit harder these days with all the rules and regulations, and it's some of the traffic that we come up against does make it a little bit harder and can get a bit dangerous sometimes, but you just take your time and everything will be fine.
Last week was the 2019 ERTENS conference held in Rotorua, the theme of which was technology and infrastructure. During a presentation on intermodal freight, log transport operator Warwick Wilshire quite rightly took exception to using the phrase taking X number of trucks off the road when discussing new or potential rail services. In a country where trucking, as essential as it is, has been socially engineered into a pariah status, using this turn of phrase does nothing to undo the state of ignorance in many of our communities. While zealot rail and road lobbyists, along with ignorant media, believe and attempt to promulgate a theme of them and us, anyone moving freight around the country knows such a state couldn't be further from the truth. I don't know one freight operator who doesn't want to get stuff where it needs to be in the best possible way, in accordance with customer demand and the amount customers are willing to pay for the service. With the freight task set to double by the mid-2040s, we as a nation face a real crisis as to how that's going to be addressed, and to even get close will require every mode to do more than its bit. Saying X service takes 1,000 trucks off the road is frankly bullshit. If the freight is on a train, it was never on a truck to start with, and there's not enough trucks or drivers to cart the product now as it is. What we need is a new turn of phrase, truck equivalence, I don't know. Something, but not, as Warwick said, taking trucks off the road. We in the industry know how the situation is. So trucking needs rail and shipping to be socially proactive in their approach to the looming crisis. Unless we form a scrum and work together, it'll be game over for everyone before we even start. Carl, I've all been so good and attentive, I think it's time for another magical moment. Cool, and for the mag moment this month, the current issue on the shelves is of course August, the Magpie issue with Mac Trident. Fantastic road test that, wasn't it?
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Mark, for the time and just the availability that you made for that with that truck. Fantastic. Things going on. Don't forget the calendar competition, alive and well for the 2020 calendar. We had a fantastic response to last year's calendar. More entries than we thought that we would get. But we kept the calendar this year to a slightly smaller size than we originally intended because the photos coming in from you guys were so great. But if you could just help us keep the files about 1.2 meg or bigger, that would be really helpful, because any smaller than that, and some of them sort of missed out because they were getting a bit furry. So those entries need to be in about, let's say end of October. So get them in. Editor at nztrucking.co.nz. Carl, what's happening with Top Truck 2018-2019?
Well, progressing well. We're still basically got a couple of weeks to go, so get voting, everybody.
Are they pouring in?
They're pouring in.
They're pouring
in. Yep, we've got up until the 8th of September, so as I said, a couple of weeks there to go, so
fantastic.
Get on with it, get voting, get your favourite.
Yeah, remember, if you don't vote for it, it won't win. Exactly. Kids, Little Truckers Club. Man, have we had a great response to Little Truckers Club. And thank you so much, Rochelle, you artiste, for helping us putting together Little Truckers Club.
That's right.
She's a one-woman band with Little Truckers Club. We're looking for pictures with you out working with Dad, Mum, Auntie, Uncle, Brother, Sister.
Whoever it is,
show us, send us in a picture. You might even get it on NZ Trucking TV. Who would know? Who would know?
You never know. So yeah, get sending those pictures in.
One of the sections we're going to bring you each month is Truckers Health, and it'll basically come from what Laura puts together for us in the magazine. Hugely important for us. Truck driving, like just about every other occupation in the country these days, has health problems. As a nation, we're 33% obese, and we need to do something about that. Yep. There's lots of medical conditions that chase truckers around because of the nature of the occupation. So we have got Laura to come on board from the Truckers Health column in the magazine, and she is going to give us some tips each month, and she's picked an exercise out of the circuit routine that appeared in the July-August issues. And Carl, what's she going to do for us today?
Kettle swings.
Kettle swings.
Hey team, it's Laura here, your Truckers Health correspondent. If you've been checking out my last articles from July and August, it was a simple kettlebell circuit. So what we're going to do today is just go over a couple of the more tricky movements, just so you know you're sort of nailing it when you're attempting it behind your truck one day. So the first thing that we're going to look at is a kettlebell swing. So your kettlebell swing pretty much works every muscle in your whole body. So you've got your quads, you've got your hammies, and you've got your glutes as well. So what's important to remember is that what's going to drive the kettlebell is your legs, not your shoulders and your arms. So you want to set up nice wide foot slants. You're going to bring the kettle down between your knees. So you're going to push your hips back. As you come up, you're going to drive your hips forward. So all the power is coming from your lower body rather than your shoulders. So your weights and your heels. Nice straight back. So you should feel that lower body cooking away. Alright, so the next movement we'll go through is a squat press. So it's basically just putting two simple movements together. So you want to hold the kettle by the horns. So you're going to sit back in your heels, so weight through your heels, tilt those hips back. Pretend you're going to sit down on a seat. You can even use your elbows as a depth finder. So once they hit your legs, you know you're in a nice deep squat. You're going to push up, squeeze your butt, and then push the weight up above the head, bring it back to the chest. So squat down, drive up, to those glutes. So this is actually a nice full body strength exercise. You're getting your glutes, your hammies and quads, and then finally up through those shoulders.
Okay, so some of you out there would have already seen retro test number two. Number two. And yeah, we've just basically give you a little intro here for those that haven't seen it.
And it's worth watching because you'll see we've introduced a new fashion line that you might be interested in.
Exactly. PPE to match the period of truck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, so retro test number two, and for those of you who haven't seen the retro test yet, go back and look at retro test number one as well.
Yep, and here's a taster.
Crikey, that first retro test went down pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did.
Let's give them another one, eh? Well, shall we adorn the PPE, the appropriate period protective equipment?
Yep.
And take her for a bit of a blout around town and see what she's all about?
I think we should. I think we should.
Done. Let's do it.
So what's on, what's happening in the industry over the next month? We've got the RTF conference in Wairaki, that's on 24-25 September. I'm reading from the magazine here, it's all in the magazine.
Yep.
Road Transport Hall of Fame, end of September, 27th Friday. Tickets are potentially still available for that. Contact Bill Richardson Transport World in Invercargill. The Blossom Festival show on the 28th of September, that's a fantastic long-standing New Zealand wonderful truck show set in an absolutely glorious setting in Alexandra. Mitre 10 Mega Ride on the Truck Day, 12th of October. That's never to be missed.
Another huge day
Tens of thousands of people, trucks, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And Invercargill Truck Show, 27th of October this year. What's on?
So there you go. There's New Zealand Trucking TV.
There it is.
Episode
Fantastic.
1.
First, yep, winner of the Cap and Mug prize for the first month goes to TeHuia for letting us do Just Trucking Around. Thank you very much, TeHuia. So until next month, we will see you later. Who was that?
Who was that?